Now, this is a video I've wanted to make for a long time, and I'm not sure why I kept putting it off. Maybe it's because I just felt like I needed to really get the details right on this one and really articulate my position on the matter as well as possible. But for those of you who have been watching my videos for a while now, you'll notice that I don't do star ratings when I review pay-per-views. And review the matches from pay-per-views. I don't assign each match a star rating. And that's very rare in the internet wrestling fan base. Most people, when they review a pay-per-view, they put in a star ratings for what they felt each match deserved, and just go off of that. You know, Dave Meltzer uses that system, obviously, the 5-star system, and has his own criteria system in place for deciding what gets what, and I can understand the appeal in it. It's easy, for one thing, you know, instead of doing what I do. If you've ever seen me on a message board, I type out insanely long reviews of pay-per-views. This probably would be much easier to just type out 3, 4, or 5 stars or whatever. And the point of this video, even though I'm going to make my position clear on this and that I don't use star ratings and I have my reasons for not using star ratings, I want to make this clear. I'm not bashing people that do use it. Like I said, I understand why people use it. I understand the appeal in doing it. It really does simplify things for a lot of people as far as voicing their opinions, and I'm sure for them it feels like it makes their opinions more clear if they assign a star rating to something. And for those people, I say more power to you. That's cool. It's all great and everything. And you know, you're reviewing it. If you do it in videos, you know, it's your video. You can do what you want with it. For me personally, the star rating system just doesn't work with me. I don't like to use it. I've never really been in sync with it. It's never really worked for me. And I have many reasons for feeling that way. For one thing, and this is especially, you know, in regards to the way Dave Meltzer does it. And Dave Meltzer, if you've looked at how he explains the star rating system and how he uses it, it sounds like a fucking mathematics equation or an algebraic formula or something. And, you know, not that I'm against mathematics. I'm really not. I think mathematics, you know, it's the greatest paradox in mankind, because it makes the world make sense and at the same time makes absolutely no sense in of itself because of how complicated it is. So it's just, mathematics is a wonderful paradox. Paradox, the word of the day. Yeah, it's a really, you know, very complicated. Well, complicated is probably not the right word, but it's very involved with so many variables that go into deciding what match gets what. And it's almost like you can place some kind of a quantitative value on what makes a match good. And I just don't, and again, it's kind of the way I look at TV shows and movies. I just don't look at any form of entertainment that way. And, you know, I don't look at TV shows that way. I don't look at movies that way. And, you know, wrestling is a form of storytelling and entertainment, and I've never really looked at it that way, and I don't really feel the need to judge it in a way that's different from any other form of entertainment. Now, truthfully, the probably the smart thing to do for me would be to, if I were going to assign a grade to anything, or a rating, or a ranking, or anything of that nature, I would probably give it to the show as a whole. I don't do that either, but if I were going to, if I were going to assign a rating or a ranking or a grade to anything, it would be the show as a whole. It wouldn't be individual matches. But again, that's all up to you. And maybe I will start doing that one day. Who knows? Gotta keep you people on your toes. But yeah, I look over Dave Meltzer's explanation for how the star rating system works, and I just don't. It's like, I don't know. It seems a little too involved and a little too again, I don't know if complicated is the word for it, but again, this is why I put off this video for so long, because I don't know if I could articulate it as well as I should. But it's just way too straight and way too strict in its rules to really work for me. Especially since, and this is another point I want to make, the way the star system works for a lot of people is that it holds every match to the same standard. And I've even heard the line used before that every match is a 5-star match until the bell rings. And I'm like, I really don't. So basically, it's a demerit system. Is that really how it works? Every match starts off perfect, and then you just tick off all the things wrong with it, and then it's, and that's how you decide the final score. It's like, I don't agree with that either, but I don't believe that every match should be held to the same standard, because it seems like the star rating system for a lot of people, it holds every match to the same standard of how you would grade a main event, and how a main event would be graded, and every other match is held to that same scoring system, which again doesn't really work with me, because every match plays a different role, and every match is trying to convey a different point. A perfect example of that would be SummerSlam '88, the Ultimate Warrior Honky Tonk Man Intercontinental title match that only lasted about 30 seconds. Most people, if they were assigning star ratings, would probably only give that a star, maybe half a star. Which on the star rating system, that would be considered bad. 1 star is bad. But to me, it's like, look at the situation here. Warrior and Honky Tonk were never that good in the ring. You would not look to those two guys for having great technical masterpieces. However, they were great characters. You had the Honky Tonk Man, who was a heat machine that always weaseled away with the Intercontinental title by hook or crook, and built up a lot of heat that way. And you had the Ultimate Warrior, who was this wild madman that killed people in half a minute. So when Warrior's music hit, for who Honky Tonk's mystery opponent was going to be, when that music hit, people went nuts because they know, oh my god, this asshole's going to get killed in 30 seconds. It's going to be great. And when Warrior won in quick fashion, the audience popped. And it was a match that played to the strength of both characters. Honky Tonk built his heat, and Warrior knocked him down and kept, stayed strong, looking like the monster. It was really well booked, really well handled, strengthened the Warrior's character in an immense way. Took all that heat that Honky Tonk Man had built up and all that credibility, having the belt for a year and a half or however long it was, and that all transfers over to the Warrior. And it was a really big win for him in that aspect. So it was really well booked, and I would be tempted to give a match like that 3 stars or something like that, because it was entertaining. It was a great character builder for Warrior. It played to the strengths of both talents, and it did what it was supposed to do, and it ended up being one of the more memorable and entertaining parts of the show. So how can I assign that only 1 star when it actually did a good job at what it was trying to do? And it didn't feel like something that was just rushed out there or thrown out there to kill time. It was legitimately a character builder, and it played into storylines that they had built up, and was a payoff to a title reign and the rise of another character who was rising in popularity at that time. So it was really the perfect situation to do a 30-second match like that with the title change, and it worked out really, really well. So I really can't really fault that match for anything, but a lot of people would, because it was only a 30-second match, and most people in star ratings would only give that about 1 star. And I don't think a match like that should be held to the standard of the main event. Now, if the main event goes 30 seconds, you get like a Sting and Jeff Hardy situation. Yeah, absolutely. But this is a different situation. Not every match can be exactly the same. Not every match can be at a main event level. And every match tries to convey a different point. I've been told that comedy matches don't get much consideration for higher ratings. Like, what was that match I really liked? Bully Ray and Joseph Park from Slammiversary last year. The match was fucking hilarious. It was really entertaining and told a great underdog story with Joseph Park that was really well done. And I thought it was the most satisfying part of the show, and you tell me I can't give that 4 stars or whatever? It was the best part of the show. I mean, come on. They did everything right with that. Excuse me. But then, again, that's where the strict rules of the star rating system come into play. And I don't understand that. Why can't a comedy match get higher ratings? Why, some of my favorite movies of all time are comedies. Most of the shows I watch on TV are comedies. I would give them more consideration for, high grades of entertainment than most anything else out there. But, again, that's just me. And, there is that argument of, well, I don't have to adhere to what Dave Meltzer and anybody else uses star rating system. I'll do it my way, and if I want to give a 30-second match 3 stars or 3.5 stars or whatever, fuck, even 4 stars, why the fuck not? Then I should be able to go ahead and do that and work that into my reviews and just do it my way. Well, the problem with that, and this is another problem I have with the star rating system as a whole, and why I personally don't use it, and why it doesn't work for me. I like to express myself through words. Obviously, I mean, I babble on and on and on about so many, random things that if you watch my videos, you know that's true. I like to babble. And I think for me, in my mind, if I assign a star rating to anything, regardless if I go by the way Meltzer does it or if I just do it my own fucking way, my own fucking system, I feel like that it kind of makes people look at the rating and not pay attention to my words. Excuse me. And I prefer people to listen to my words and whatever I felt about a match or a wrestling event or anything like that, they'll draw my opinions from what I say and not by some letter grade or a star rating that I gave a match. Because to me, words are more powerful and more meaningful than any grade designating whatever it is I'm reviewing. Again, that's just me. I like to express myself verbally, and I would prefer, if you want to know what I thought about a specific match, I would prefer to just give you an in-depth description of what I thought and my feelings and what my emotions were while this match was going on, and let that be the basis of my review and not necessarily a grade, basically. And that's how I prefer to do things. I'm a very verbally oriented guy, so star ratings, by their very nature, just don't appeal to me, and I don't think they would work for me. And I would hate to see people arguing with me over, because I've seen people get into fights over half a star. The difference between a 4-star match and a 4.5-star match, and get into fucking like flame wars with each other over that. And I'm like, really? We're gonna quibble over half a star? All right. You do what you want. But most people that watch my videos seem to be happy with my reviews, so it's never really given me much of an incentive to switch over to doing star ratings anyway. But and I do appreciate that. That people do seem to appreciate what I have to say and appreciate my descriptions and my explanations and my analysis based on their words and my feelings and my emotions, rather than just paying attention to a number that I assign to it. And that's the way I prefer to do things, and that's the way I'm going to keep doing things. So, again, I'm not bashing anybody that does the star rating system. If it works for you, great. That's all cool, well and good. I've never discredited anybody for doing the star rating system in their videos or in any typed blog reviews that they do. So, again, whatever works for you, man, more power to you. But me personally, I shy away from it, and I prefer to let my words... I prefer to voice my opinion through my words, and that's the way I'm going to keep doing things. So, yeah, that's all I've got for now. Yeah, wow, I've seriously been planning this video for like 2 years, so hopefully I didn't bore you too much with that, really long-winded explanation. There I go, babbling again. But that's all I have for now. I will see you all when I do my next video, which will probably be sometime next week. So until then, later, everybody.